Hello again. We return to you. I'm, of course, your DM Bjorn Anders. Say hello, almost everyone.
Hello,
Hello,
almost
almost
everyone.
everyone.
We have a space for rent, and we have a beautiful picture of a doggo filling in for the individuals we don't have here at the moment, which is fine. We'll deal with what they're doing. In the meantime, you all leveled up, and since you're the ones here, I want to hear what all you got. I'll go around just the order you're in on my screen, starting with Siobhan.
Nope. I, as a barbar, get an extra attack, and my movement increases.
That's right, fast movement and more attacking. That's going to be bad news for all monsters. What about for Garnet?
We get uncanny dodge.
Oh
no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yep.
Also,
You had your chance to kill her, Bjorn. It's gone now.
That's it. I missed it.
Yep. Also, because proficiency went up at this level, my psychic whispers can go to 3 people instead of 2,
That's
and
right,
my
proficiency
psionic
went up.
dice is a D8 now,
Wow.
Oh wow,
and I get 6 or 8 uses of it. So
that's cool.
it
I
is
didn't
a
realize
pretty good level.
proficiency went up.
Yeah, proficiency
Yeah.
mods. All of your guys to hit bonuses is now higher. What did Karazra get?
I got basically I just got more uses of everything.
It's true.
Like-
It's true.
And I got more uses of everything, and I have access to 3rd level spells now.
And because of 5th level, your cantrips are all now enhanced.
Yep.
Because that's the level where cantrips go up.
Yep.
And then
Basically,
yeah.
just everything's better.
yes,
But
Yeah,
it's all
fifth-
it's all the same, just bigger.
I forget. Yeah, fifth is like, oh, I forgot
5th
that.
level I think
Yes.
is the best level up in the whole game. And
Ooh, I'm +8 on my dad's hammer now, so I am that much better at forging.
there you go. That's awesome.
So I'm sure that'll come up.
And what about Pohakatsu?
Pohaku Kahu has
Yeah.
meditated, has some new tattoos that weren't there when he went to sleep, but suddenly now they are. And yeah, I'm still working on the flavoring. One of these is going to be a modified. Well, come on, I'm a 5th level wizard. How do I not take Fireball? So there's
Fireball.
that. That'll be flavored in some way. I'll figure it out. And then I've got a summon. And if anyone out there has good suggestions for some sort of Polynesian Pacific type mythological creature to summon up, I'd be open to hearing it. I'm looking into it.
Nice. So you're kind of like reskin the whole summon fae thing.
Pretty much. Yep.
That's cool. I love it. I love it. 5th level is so epic. So you all were in the Shiverstone mine, had gone down to investigate some sort of anomaly that apparently the census had taken interest in. And making your way to the lowest level, you encountered 2 rather sturdy census members, a law mage and this blue scale dragonborn gladiator that did battle with you all. You survived, though the dragonborn, before they expired, had let it be known that the census would fall, the crown would be taken, and the upright would prevail, whatever that means. Ohaku had this arcane source speak directly to him and was gifted a wooden dagger, sort of petrified wood from ages past, that looked like it was formerly the head of a spear, broken and repurposed into dagger form, that is just thrumming with magical potential. We'll see where all that goes going forward. And he was delighted that he had met Garnet and gone on this strange journey, as clearly she led him to the next step in his destiny. Kira
What a
took
character. I'm so
Yeah.
I'm so excited that the my muse as Pohaku is my wife. It's great.
Oh my god.
And the best thing is, it literally just kind of worked out for the way I wanted this story to go with the characters you guys came up with. I'm going, this is perfect. And I also love that just naturally the bromance we had in campaign 1 of Nathan and Jordan, that instantly I'm like, their characters are gonna know each other from jump. Yeah, dude, the pairings just worked themselves out from the characters you guys came up with. It was kind of glorious. And Kira, you had taken the census symbol from what was left of the robe of the law mage. And as you all exited the mine, there was a very loud discussion going on between one Castian Aloro and one Marshal Elijah Bicker. Through the conversation, it was revealed that Castian seemed to have no idea what these other members were about. Bicker was none too thrilled to see Castian, as they have some sort of past. And when Castian was shown the robes, the remnants, and was told about what was said, he seemed confused and concerned. He made up camp, as Bicker said he wanted to keep an eye on him. And Castian is waiting for 2 other members of his squad to arrive. He said at which point he will happily pack up and head out. He also spoke to Mannix, letting Mannix know there'd be an emissary arriving to offer information and apologies for the raid that happened at Mannix's homestead, which was somehow known about by the census members in the mine. Castian saying that should have been only upper level census information. And also that, as far as he's concerned, it's something that shouldn't have happened. You all are able to turn in, get a long rest. So if you haven't clicked that wonderful long rest button, please do that. And the morning comes, you awaken, and the first thing that happens upon you all waking is Castian comes over to where you are all camped, and he says to Mannix, it sounds like the emissary will be arriving soon. I can send you his way. Just please allow me to make formal introductions on this. I would hate to have any more unpleasantness take place. All right, then. If you're at least, I don't know, at least eating coffee and coffee, you can make this happen. Because coffee and I can make coffee and coffee happen. As far as something decent to eat, I may have a few provisions. Kira, I'll reconvene with you and your allies fairly soon, but business needs to be done with Mr. Soul here.
Understood.
You will take Mannix off, and you hear Mannix, and if you understand when I say coffee, I want one for each hand. It's real simple what I'm needing here.
And as soon as they are out of earshot, Kira's gonna turn to everyone. Looks like I've got a partial day off. Thank fuck. And you can see he just, like, all of his, like, posture and everything, he just kind of, like, slouches and slumps and sits down.
Kira, as you wake, as you touch your hand to your head, your hair has completely grown back.
But has it retwisted itself into dreadlocks?
It's still styled.
Yeah. It just completely restyled itself.
Oh, this is the best day I'll have in months. Oh.
Kira, are you sure that Mannix is safe with, like, it's not like a ruse to get him away from you or anything, right? Like if his family's in trouble,
I
he's
don't
not in
know,
trouble.
but Castian's my superior officer, so I'm not gonna take a day off. I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth.
I feel like I should probably rep for Reba here. Oh, it's you're just not going to challenge anything, huh? You're just going to,
Reba just rolls her eyes loud enough that it's audible.
All right.
Was I going to say, oh, I looked away and the glasses had disappeared. I'm like, why are you coming for my gimmick, man? What's the?
It's just glasses.
Mhm.
Prescription.
So where are we in regards? Oh, Kitty.
We're still at the mine, correct?
I mean,
Yeah.
are we really close to the entrance, or do we just kind of set up like immediately outside, or what?
You're not terribly far from the entrance itself. Like where the entrance is, there's sort of this almost circular. You know the God of War symbol, sort of the broken Omega.
Mhm.
It's sort of like that. If you think of the top of the Omega as the entrance to the mine, it circles out. That's where there are various campsites, and then it reaches where the path leads up to it, and then a few people sort of camped off to either direction. But there's a large open. Sorry about that, Kitty. No, bumped my cat in the nose, my elbow. There's a large sort of central clear area where if folks are needing to take various equipment and stuff down there, it can get through.
This is like a magic trick where Cleo's face is in yours, and then her tail is in mine.
Yeah. You are playing with portals.
She is incredibly social right now. This is very unique. She never comes out when we're doing any sort of streaming stuff, but is quite welcome, as you are beautiful and wonderful, and I love you very much, Kitty.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
You're beautiful and wonderful, and I love you too.
can you remind me how far away we are from Ruby's Crossing? Is the town, correct?
Yeah, you would be about a day's travel.
The day's
out.
travel. Okay.
It's not far as the crow flies, but going through the mountains, the little pass that leads up to the mine is very, very just craggy, and it's very slow going.
Are there messenger services here in the camp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there are various couriers, either individuals or you can send things, by bird.
Pohaku would, if possible, would like to seek out when he has time. Would like to seek out one of the couriers.
Sure.
Yeah,
they're very easy to find.
Okay. So he will scroll down. So would this be like with is he literally writing a note that is going to be delivered, or you said like a bird? Is there something like he's tying it to the bird? How does this work?
Basically depends on what you're looking for. You can either write a letter to be sent. You can tell somebody what you want sent, and they can relay it when they get there. You can write a letter that's, how far are you trying to send it? I guess I should ask.
I'm trying to send this back into, so I'm thinking like a bird might be the better choice if it's available, because I do want to send this back into the Whispering Wood, back to my group.
If you want to send it that far, yeah, you could get somebody who would have a well enough trained bird that might be able to handle it. Just knowing how the Whispering would be, the fact that it's an animal gives it a better chance of getting it there.
Yeah.
But also just this ever shifting wood, you also know there's a chance it will not find its source and have to turn around and come back. But there's a possibility.
So the short version is, yes, I will look for a courier able to deliver that type of a message. And the short version is I'm just going to write down a message to my kind of adoptive father and mother, Mauka and Nahele. Basically just telling them what has happened yesterday. That they were right in telling me to find this person of the earth, and it seems to be going in the right direction. Things are going well.
And sort of the stall that you find that's handling these messages, you see this dark red scaled kobold who
Uh-oh.
runs things there, and he's got kind of just a snarl to his face, and it just says Grumps messages.
I love him.
You want something?
I knew it was that voice.
It's got to be. Yeah. I understand you're the one to talk to for relaying messages over great distances.
I'm Grump. I send messages.
Well, pleased to meet you, Grump. I am Champion Esquire Pohaku Kahu.
Nice to meet you too.
Yes. I
You
was.
can tell by my smile.
Oh, and you can tell by my champion belt that actually says champion. It's fantastic to make your acquaintance.
Lots of people got belts. I got a belt.
Can you show me your belt? Does it say Grump?
Me.
Does it say messenger? I bet it says messenger. Mine says champion, so yours
It
must say
doesn't
messenger.
say anything. It holds up my pants.
Oh, well, that's also important.
Is that the message you want sent? Is you have a belt?
He thinks for a moment. No. If you can, I'd like to get something down to the branch mothers in the Whispering Wood. Are you capable of handling?
His demeanor completely changes. The Whispering Wood, you say?
Wasn't ready for that. Wasn't ready for that.
You are a connoisseur.
I'm sorry, what? Yes, I am
Connoisseur.
absolutely one of those.
You understand avian message capability. You're not one of the common rabble who just send something willy-nilly that they could have the average person send. Oh no.
Yes,
You want this sent?
am a yes.
The branch mothers of the Whispering Wood. Oh, this is so good. This is exciting. So, how long is the message going to be? And how quickly does it need to get there?
Oh, the sooner the better. Probably only a paragraph or two.
Now, I look forward to this. Allow me to properly introduce myself. The name is Marto.
Marto Grumps.
No. Just Marto.
Who's Grumps?
Grumps is the business name.
Ah,
Let's just say there are many individuals who see a kobold and do not expect quality of intelligence. So by playing into expectation, I meet needs.
Pohaku the wizard wearing a championship belt with the fringe armbands nods knowingly at him. I understand you completely.
I believe you. Yes, I can absolutely get something delivered. He looks through. You can see there are just about a dozen different types of birds there. Somodo. I have osprey that I have no doubt could make the journey for you. It will not come without a cost, as this is my finest bird, but with where you're looking this to be sent, I think you need only the finest.
I reach into my coin purse and just have a handful of gold coins out in my hand. How much is it?
You are quite well to do, sir.
It's just these, I don't know. I understand these are helpful here.
I take it where you're from, coin currency is not a common occurrence.
Not so much. Maybe I should have brought Garnet with me.
I drive an honest business. For what you wish to do, 3 gold, and I will have it delivered. I understand it is a very steep price for messaging, but this bird has to travel most the length of the continent. It will take some time.
Oh, it's not a problem at all. I count out 3 gold for him. Pardon, as you know, I am new to these, but do I tip you?
Oh, if you wish, but it is by no means.
I give him 3 more
necessary.
gold.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
For that, I can more than guarantee it gets there.
Oh, that would be preferred. I mean, I certainly would like it to get there.
Let's see here. Let's start by the parchment. Regular parchment won't do. He pulls one up. A piece of that. This is enduring parchment. No amount of water will soak it or cause ink on it to run, and the average wear and tear of the elements will have no effect on this. Please write out your message on the enduring parchment so that we can guarantee every last syllable reaches your destination.
Well, thank you so much, Marto. I appreciate this very much.
It is my pleasure. And as he says, he's actually, you wait your time. One at a time. Looks like yes. I hate to have my stall crowded.
I don't know, man. I feel like Pohaku has met his victory conditions and needs to retire and take up residence.
Not another one.
No. Yes. Thank you so much, Marto. And I will go off to the side and write out a message to home.
That's wonderful. When it is done, and he takes a small metal tube, go ahead and place it in this, and set it off to the side. I will be sending letters out right around midday. And he looks at 2 of them. Yes, this is the one intended for Chancellor.
Well, thank you so much. I absolutely will follow his instructions.
I'm glad we have met. Thank you so much, Pohaku. You, what do you want? And he starts taking the information from the next person in line there. As for the rest of you,
Well, I'm just doing whatever I do in the morning, waiting for the marshal to come by. I don't know if anybody noticed, like it was, I didn't want to call attention because we were talking to, Haku was being his victory conditions, but did you guys see? It was like Lenny Kravitz was in the chat for a second. It was really cool.
So Hamir and his associates are kind of rummaging up what food they have to make a sort of breakfast with. Zedri doing the cooking, as he likes to try to do, and they're sharing their provisions with you all as you're filling yourselves. Like Hamir is playing around with the helping hand ring using the mage hand capabilities. I think it's pretty great. I like
So
this.
happy to see you're getting good use of it.
Oh, hey, no, thanks, man. This is pretty freaking cool. I gotta tell you, it feels real good to have gotten some sleep that wasn't in a cave, and yeah, I feel pretty good. So gonna need to get back down south. It's a good artificer friend of mine. I think he can make this a cool permanent fixture. Hands it a bit for me. And plus, now that I got this ring here, won't miss the old one at all.
Very
So,
happy to hear that.
what are you all up to now that you've come here, saved my ass, done whatever have you down in there, and what's next?
Garnet would like to pull out one of the masks and just ask him, and any of the three of them, if it meant anything to them or if they'd seen it on anyone else.
They kind of look at myself. Never seen anything like that. It's kind of cool looking, a little spooky. Well, fine, but I haven't seen anything like that before. Why? What's up?
I just took it off one of the folks that we ran into down below. But I
Well,
found the second one, or a first one, I guess the first one, back at Harmony Creek. And this would probably be news to everybody. Do you know how long these four were down here?
Oh, not real sure. I mean, all right, at least a couple days.
Do we remember how long? Because there've been problems going on in the mine for a while because Vicar has had like time to be like, hey, this is a problem. We need people to go check out.
Yeah. I mean, issues have been going on in the month, which we gathered. Little issues that have been slowly building have been going on for a couple weeks. But at first, nobody thought anything of it. And then it became more and more significant. And these census members were probably down there for probably at least a couple days.
So it's not unreasonable that the mask I lifted at the festival could have been one of theirs.
Yeah, it's definitely weird.
Timing-wise. Yeah. Okay.
Be something to keep thinking about and keep an eye on. But no, can't help you there. I'm sorry.
But her question, does the timeline make sense that the mask could have belonged to one of these people that we ran into in the caves? Or does that timeline not make sense?
Unlikely. Like you would think that whoever Garnet took it off of probably belonged to that person. And you don't think that individual was one of the ones that would have been down in there. Especially considering what these folks that you fought down in the cave look like versus, they said, Garnet, you don't remember the face of the person you took this off of, but you do remember they were very well dressed, clearly well-to-do, because you don't mind making a rich person's pockets a little lighter.
I mean, if we do intend to all stick together, figuring out what's up with these uprise seems like the next best course of action for us.
Well, I spoke to the marshal briefly last night, and he said he's going to come by this morning and give us our pay, and also that he might have another job for us. So actually, Marette Khan, that I would have told them about the job last night because he said, like, give you a chance to think about it.
Sure. Right. It's up to you if you told them then or if you were going to wait until Vicar got here so he could tell them himself.
No, I've mentioned it. But yeah, I've been like, it's unclear. He said something about a sound like a spying job on a train, which I won't lie, sounds really glamorous, but I am shite at sneaking and hiding.
Well,
That just needs the distraction.
yeah, there are
Have
more
to be a very good
ways to-
distraction.
there are more ways to be sneaky than just being quiet and hiding. Sometimes being in plain sight and just looking inconspicuous is enough.
Siobhan raises her eyebrows and takes off her glasses, and for the first time you see her eyes fully in the light. And I don't know if anybody knows who, oh my God, I'm blanking on the actress's name. What if anybody had to watch that TV movie version of the Scarlet Letter in
Oh
Middle-
Jesus.
okay, you know what I mean? That lady has yeah, she says like vampire eyes.
Yeah.
It's like they're just incredibly light and bright. And it's just, you see her from certain angles, and it's like, that doesn't seem human. Yeah, Siobhan's eyes are like that, but more turquoisey. Turquoise. Yeah.
Okay, maybe inconspicuous ain't the route you should go.
Maiden.
Hamir, having heard bits of this conversation this morning, I mean, I don't know, not everyone needs to be inconspicuous. It's important to have some good muscle around. Part of why we keep Zedri here, and he's far from inconspicuous. I'm sure you can blend a little better than he can there, Siobhan Finnegan.
Well, I can, just keep my head down and me hood up, pretend I'm Strider, just root in the corner.
Oh yeah, I think I read that book, King of the Jewelry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, did I say Strider? I meant Striver.
Yes.
Poor Jordan.
Before we leave this area, are we sure that the threat in the mine is taken care of?
No, Bicker, in fact, was sure that the census tend to, well, here you'll tell me if this is wrong. He said the census crew go in groups of 5.
That is
We came
correct.
across 4.
Unless
And,
that dragon was one of them.
Almost on cue, you will see Bicker sauntering up your direction. Morning, y'all. So, get a good night's rest, everyone, I hope.
Absolutely.
Did I, or did I have like extra intense dreams?
You slept quite well. Glad to see Oshti. He glances over at Castian's camp, and you can see Mannix over there. Okay, all yeah, that's good. All right. Present accounted for. Well, had a few folks do a little perimeter searching. No sign of an additional member to this crew. Can't find no evidence that a 5th one went down into that mine with them. Guessing whoever they had alongside was either up here topside, keeping a look-see in case anybody came around, or they're truly acting on their own. Not sure which. Keep my ear to the ground, see if there's anything else I can find out. But curious if y'all had a chance to discuss and consider the future employment that I can offer. Oh, speaking of your payment, I don't have it in front of me. Was it 50 apiece?
It was 50 each to investigate, 100 to apprehend.
That's right. Well, I know I said it'd be 100 each for apprehension. And, well, no one was apprehended. I do feel like that would be a little pedantic on my part if I tried to hold y'all to such a meaning. So, he tosses a small bag at Garnet's feet. It's payment for all of you down to the last gold piece. Thank you for your involvement thus far, and curious if you had a chance to discuss the next endeavor I wish to possibly send y'all upon.
We had, but I think my compatriots could use a little more information. I repeated what you told me, but it wasn't
Sure.
much.
No, that's plenty fair. My thought is this. These Imperial individuals, the census folks heading back, it looks to Kira here. You sure you want to hear this? You sure you might want to be in on this?
I mean, if the last few days can show, just because they say they're census doesn't mean they're actually working for us.
That's my thoughts exactly on this particular situation. If everything were on the up and up, even if we were having a bit of a disagreement over what needs all be done, I wouldn't be feeling so uneasy. But I didn't exactly sleep well last night, considering what we're doing. My thoughts are, if there is a fifth, I likely won't be on that train heading back to the Thanamirian Empire. I'd like to get you all on that train as well. I can get a manifest of who is staying, particular in what car and where, all throughout. I could deliver such information to all of you and get you all passage booked on said train. Got a few friends who owe me a favor, could run a little bit of a sort of distraction to give you all an opportunity to move past the cars unnoticed. Now, you may have to do this on the exterior of said vehicle, but it's doable. Now, the passage is only going to get you so far. Every city train goes through, they've got checkpoints. They read those tickets. If you try and go further than your ticket allows, you will be evicted from said train post haste. There will also be a point where this travels due south. There'll be another one heading due north, heading to Virtue. That's where I'll end up meeting y'all. What you're going to have to do while this train rides south, and again, I'll need a little bit of time to get said manifest, get to said location within the train that will either reveal the identity, who this fifth may be, or at the very least, find some information as to what all they're up to. Look through records, journals, whatever you can find. And if you find nothing, you find nothing. But before you get too far down that track, before your ticket is no longer good, you are going to need to make your way from said southbound vehicle onto the northbound vehicle. It may Virtue. You may also have to do this at speed.
Come again?
There may be a chance that some of you have to evac yourself from one vehicle and land upon the other as it goes in opposite direction. Each city you see at their train stops generally just has a spot for one vehicle, whether it be northbound or southbound. So as one begins to come out, as it picks up speed, it will cross paths with the one going opposite direction as it decreases speed. You won't be going full bore, trying to get on something else full bore. That would be your best place to make said switch.
Now, pardon me if this is a foolish question, but I can't we get off and wait for the one that's going northbound?
Because if you abscond with imperial documents and you are seen about
Right.
somewhere, and if you are caught, it is not ideal. Thus, this is our current best plan for doing things. Don't know if said employment has a great amount of interest to you all, but should you be willing to do this, I could pay you the sum of 50 gold pieces apiece up front, 100 gold pieces apiece upon completion, plus an additional 1,000 to divvy amongst yourselves should you return with something of interest.
I don't know
Yeah.
about the rest of you, but this sounds pretty great. And I would like to work a little closer to home. There it is.
You you can find yourself in the room where this information happens to be. Just maybe a possibility.
Would I need to prepare the menu, the venue, and the seating?
Oh no, I don't reckon that'd be too necessary. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is probably on the dangerous side, but I think it's doable.
Sorry if I missed this, but are we following an individual, a group? Like, how will we identify?
That's what I'm working on. I'm trying to get
Okay.
the manifest of whichever train Castian is heading out on. The fact of the matter is, he is the highest ranking individual we've seen around in these parts in a long time. And if Imperial types are trying to get something important out, be on the train he's on, because they'll have the most and the best trained eyes on these things. Therein lies the other potential bugaboo. Much as I'm quite happy to verbally run down one Castian Oloro, he ain't to be taken lightly. He's about as trained as they come. Won't have long to go snooping around in the private car. Any Imperial member, if he's around. One of you may have to run some sort of distraction to keep him from personally investigating. But I'll tell you now, there ain't a one amongst you that wants that tussle. Tells I don't want that tussle. The other thing, I think this goes without saying, you get caught on this, I don't know nothing about it. You're on your own, you do this.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is dancing on the razor's edge of as we can get away with Treaty of Virtue being what it is. But this really does not sit right with me. This unaccounted for member for a group heading down to supposedly investigate this anomaly, and all of this being outside the scope and understanding of a high ranking member. There's something rotten I want to know about. Because they have some sort of lunatic fringe within their midst that wants to set their gaze up here. But it's best we know about it sooner before later. Because we can bring that information to the Council of Virtue, show them what's going on. That'll give a little more protection up here to the assemblage. Now, We know there's now a reservoir, arcane reservoir, right here in our little Shimmerstone. And that's to our advantage. We set up commerce between the Ashar and Vale, those elves, and even maybe with some of them dwarves up in the mountains of Stone Spire. It's going to strengthen that bond. But I still believe at the end of the day, those elves will stick to their woods and leave us to dangle by our short and curliest unless we give them reason to care about it.
Getting out in front of this, well, it won't do anything but help people. So we might as well.
It's my hope. Now, I will reconvene with you all as I learn more and we go to put said plan into action. I promise you now, it won't be easy, but the access, I should be able to get y'all for the train. You'll be able to access different passenger compartments through the tickets. We can get you. And we can get at least one premier ticket. Get you as close as possible to where any military folks be stationed out. So if there's someone who thinks they can be a bit of a distraction for Castian, that'd be the best place for that. As far as the rest of you, I'll probably get 2 in first class, get 2 of you in economy, and then we may just sneak 2 of you in as staff. Get you on the back end of the train, near the luggage.
Well, I deeply hate to say it, but I think it's obvious who'd be in first class.
Mhm.
And Fick will probably put me in staff because I'm the strongest. Oh, and Reba. They'll have to flip coins or something for it. I'm sorry, it's just assuming that everyone wants to go and you're being asked to work directly against your pa's best mate.
It's not necessarily working against him, because if something getting slipped by him, it would be helping him to figure it out.
Gallagher raises a good point. Much as I hate to say it, you discover something rotten from the inside that you're able to report to the high and mighty. Likely to see a reward of employment on that. Not to tell you your business, but been around long enough to know how these things work.
Exactly. And if there's something rotten within, my people, I want it sorted out. Because that kind of thing, all that happens is hurt the common folk.
It's fine. You remind me a lot of your father.
Character question here.
Yeah.
For Siobhan, Phoenix the player has heard you talking about your hesitation around census quite a bit. Have we all heard that about that as characters? How much do we know about that?
I mean, I think the only thing really would be when Siobhan, when Reba was just like insistent about like our names do not go into this report.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you know that Kira sent me the heads up to be like, hey.
Yeah, wouldn't have done that. Wow.
Oh no, we've had conversations. I mean, we did because when Reba was doing one of her many, damn the man speeches, because you were confused. And I was
okay,
like,
so
and I was like, oh, they're colonizers, and they have been known historically to kill people who disagree with their religious choices. So
okay, so then knowing that, and with Pohaku being as subtle as he is, as this conversation is happening, he is just going to say straight out, well, Siobhan, how do you feel about this? We're going to be going directly into territory of those that I understand you fear most.
Well, I'll be frank, I can't say I'm best pleased, but it also sounds like we're not gonna go that far.
Yeah, ideally, you won't be going too terribly deep into that territory.
Hey, I'm sorry, I thought you said we were meeting you at Virtue, we weren't gonna go any farther than that, because how are we gonna, I didn't think the tickets would take us further than Virtue.
Oh, I think there is a slight amount of misunderstanding on that. Virtue will be your final destination on this, but oh, are we going past it?
Because
Oh,
if I heard correctly, we're going kind of down and past Virtue and then back up.
I think my brain just glided past that because it just made no sense to me. All right. You see Siobhan visibly trying not to panic.
Here's the way this would go down. Train's gonna leave carrying everybody Imperial from Ruby's Crossing. Y'all will have reconvened with me in town due south of there. My stomping grounds is Silent Gulch. Those of you will board said train as it goes southward, and it will get to and past Virtue. Now, as it heads out and beyond Virtue, there are a couple small stops along the way before it gets all the way down to Nova Aurora. Here is the most important thing. When it leaves the second stop past Virtue, you will be within the territory of the Thanamirian Empire. There'll be a train heading northward along the opposite track. We need to get on that one, and we'll head due north past the stop for getting out towards Hunter's Respite. Beyond there, we'll get to Virtue. The importance on this is there'll be no record you ever having left that train. There'll be no record you ever having gotten on that one. Stops at Virtue. All record of you ends with the second checkpoint. It is also important. Those tickets will not get you all the way into Nova Aurora. They do the sweep of the train, see who is still aboard. That's that second stop. Y'all are still aboard. Alarm's going to go off.
See, unfortunately, she's not here right now, but Rita would probably possibly have more concerns than Siobhan does.
Well, and those can be addressed and thought of. Y'all don't have to decide right this second. I just wanted to give you full disclosure what the plan is here. Don't want to do it? No one's going to force you. The fact of the matter is, if anybody tried to report that this was the plan we had to go against the Empire, it's just so cockamamie, nobody would believe you. But I'm not worried about that with any of y'all. Proving yourself trustworthy, capable, and true fact is, kind of people I think I can rely on. I can't personally accompany you on this because as far as some folks needing to travel incognito, well, pretty darn well no.
Out of character, thank you for explaining all that again. I was in the midst of writing all of it down. So I was like, oh,
It's all good.
I missed that shit. What?
Yeah, I put up the map into my profile picture there, so it looks like we're currently right under the G of Vagabond at
Yes.
Shimmerstone. So we're going past Virtue,
I think.
which is slightly up and to the left of Stonespire, or at the kind of.
It's
the,
kind of hard to see. It's a small picture.
Yeah, it's probably too small.
Yeah, it'd be too small on that screen for you watching to see. But yeah, there is a spot where 3 dotted orangish lines meet, and the thick dotted orange line on our map is the train track.
Got it.
So Virtue is where all the roads come together, and that is within the territory of the Asharan Vale. And then after this train would leave Virtue, it would go south and then to the southwest along a long track. And the next significant city that hits is Nova Aurora, far south of the Thanamirian Empire. But there are these small dotted lines that come off of it, those roads. Wherever one of those intersects with the train track, there's a stop there.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So yeah, there is a branch that goes off to a location called Hunter's Respite just after getting into the Thanamirian Empire. And then shortly after that, there's a very long road that leads to the north, leading up to places such as Tracker's End and Rubbleshire. And the next stop after that is a road to the east that leads to the Star Meadow Necropolis and Morningminster. And that's the next checkpoint that if you weren't off the train by, you would be discovered. But basically, as it leaves the second checkpoint, and I can, between this and the whatever session you guys actually do or don't go about doing this, I can snip some images of the map so you'll know exactly what you're dealing with in some of these locations. So it's not just all words in your ears.
Right. It's a lot to think on, Marshall.
Ain't wrong. It's a reason why I come to you at least a few days before anything like this might be going down. Want you to
So
have.
if I'm hearing you right, you're gonna do some trickery to get us on a train. We're gonna be posing as passengers or staff,
Yep.
secretly looking for clues that we're not really sure about what they are, who they're from.
Precise.
And then once we get to a certain point, we're jumping from one train to another.
Yep.
This sounds like the best day ever.
You have given a complete and
That's all I need to know.
complete and accurate recount of exactly what I have lined up and planned, and hope you all be up for doing. And
Before we agree,
Yeah.
sorry to
No.
keep going, but
of course,
the mine here,
yeah,
folks who were going in to see what the noises were that everyone else was running away from, do we think that's really resolved, or do we still think there's something down there like that's going to eat all the miners?
from what you relayed about what all you found down there, and had a little chance to chat up your pal Hamir after he had made his way out. Sounds like that there dragon may have been the cause of folks getting the heebie-jeebies. Sound like those who were caught in or around that nasty halitosis seemed to get the willies mighty fierce.
Oh, I forgot I had a fear effect.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Thank you. I feel better now about leaving. Also, you keep talking about, or you have talked about, setting up some trade and commerce here around the Shimmerstone mine. That seems like it would become significantly more valuable for folks who have stakes in the mine.
You speak it right.
How can I make sure that the folks with stakes in the mine are fairly represented and not taken advantage of or having their stake taken away from them while this is all going down.
Appreciate you asking. Well, step one be making sure that there is some sort of representative, either in ownership or appointed thereby an owner, to be around in discussions for increasing said commerce. Now, obviously, you don't expect any sort of thing to happen overnight, and I won't lie to you, yours truly will certainly not be part of said negotiations and consultations. I am a lawman, and it is not my duty to deal with all sorts of business goings on. That said, proper representation is important. I do know that as far as the way most the mayors like to deal with things, even some sort of representation in writing would give you some due action, due course, allow you to ask for certain information to be relayed back to you in a timely manner, so you're having a form of correspondence. All that said, having somebody physically present, that's going to do you one better.
Noted.
But I will tell you this, if I have to settle any disputes between those looking to acquire said new asset and those who are in possession of said asset, I'll be real quick to side with those who are the current owners of said asset. And he looks past you, Garnet. I think I see another individual who would be willing to back you up on just such a thing. And as you all look over, you see very clearly another marshal. He has a long leather duster, very similar to Marshal Bickers. And so he's got this gray, kind of scraggly hair tied back in a very loose and messy ponytail, a couple day old stubble, and you can see one of his eyes is very clearly this like Erstats robotic eye. Marshal Bicker. If that just don't beat the band. Do I see you've got folks sitting here listening around talking about your tales of yesteryear and tales of excellence? Where are my manners? Allow me to introduce myself. Marshal Cecil Holloway. Friends call me One Eye.
It's really nice to meet you, One Eye, because I know we're already friends.
I like this one. What's your name there, miss?
My name's Garnet.
Darn it. Pleasure to meet you.
I heard that you can shoot fleas off of a horse.
I mean, I ain't been drinking.
Out hurting the horse?
Well, depends on what the horse did. I just messed with you. No, I never heard a horse. Kidding me? Kira. Pleasure to meet you there, Kira.
Any friend of Garnet's a friend of mine.
Pleasure to meet you there. Got a name, my friend, or should I just call you friend?
Friend sounds nice. I like that.
Sold. And for you, miss.
Siobhan Finnegan from Ruby's Crossing.
Yeah, Siobhan Finnegan from Ruby's Crossing. Cecil Holloway from Forsaken Reach.
Have I heard of this guy before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's known to be a likable but loudmouth marshal. And you also know that Forsaken Reach, it is the southernmost settlement of the Vagabond assemblage and is very close to the borders both of the Asharan Vale and of the Thanamirian Empire. Not many people choose to live there, as just being that close to the Empire gives a bit of heebie-jeebies, which is sort of how the town got its name. One Eye signed up to be the marshal there, as he's never met a fight he didn't like. And so being sort of the first line of defense of anyone who might try and come in, nah, he likes that. Where Marshall Bicker is very happy to let cooler heads prevail and try and talk down a situation. One Eye, he would know well enough. He's of the type that give him an excuse to shoot you. Just give him an excuse and he'll be happy to do it. Just he will oblige. Yeah, so Bicker is just this year the crew you got gonna sign up for your little cockamamie travel scheme. He's trying to send you all on trips. That's what's going on.
What are you talking about?
Like how you do. No. Well, I tell you, if y'all be looking to do a little journeying under the tutelage of one Marshall Bicker, don't know if there's nobody I'd trust more to handle such an endeavor going forth. I heard there was a tussle to be had around here, but everybody seems a mite calm. Don't tell me I missed out on all the action.
Unfortunately, I think you did.
Well, shit.
And I showed the scar in my shoulder from yesterday. Yeah, this was a bit of the casualty. A dragon, 4 people, and a roper.
Well, shoot. Sounds like a full day, you ask me. Now, one of them ropers. I ain't sorry I missed that. That's no fun. Well, pleasure to meet y'all. I'm just here to make sure things stay settled. Heard a bit of a rumor that some high-ranking Imperial witch hunters decided they want to bring in a few more guests for drinks and chatting, and just don't want no one to get too cozy.
I think your old friend is at the other camp.
Yeah, I heard he was here. I wonder if I can make him piss himself again. Hey, Laurel! You wearing your rubber pants or not?
Kira does not hide his laughter.
Yeah, he best be wearing his rubber pants. I don't like that fella.
You guys can't see this because Siobhan is wearing her glasses, but she is very confused about which eye she's supposed to focus on.
Well, yeah, because the Earthstat's eye, it is constantly, it's just taking in information.
I mean, I'm not saying Erzat's eye Udi, but that's kind of
Well, pleasure to meet y'all. If you need anything from me, I'll be hereabouts wheeling and dealing. Oh, shit. Is that Gandos the Magnificent? Gandos! Big fan. And he starts heading off that direction.
seems like a
Of
great day.
course.
I knew you had good instincts, Garnet.
Really do.
Turn to Kira quietly. You don't want to blame for this but yourself.
I just needed to get us a ride here. I didn't think it through.
Well, there was. Imagine no telling the level of what have you that you'd be subjected to.
When I arranged for us to ride with him, he wasn't like that. When we were talking in the tavern, he was just more Steven than Gandos.
Bait and trick, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Bait and switch.
Yeah, that there Gandos fella, he's a lot. Not too surprised that Cecil's a fan though. He's a fan of, say, colorful spectacle. It's just how he do things.
It's certainly a
to-
choice.
When appropriate, go visit Grump and send a message home.
Sure thing. Easily done. And Paku, are you going with for this, or is?
Do you want me to come with, Garnet?
Did you tell me anything about Grunt, or did you just?
I would have told you that I went over and sent a message. And Marto over at Grunts was super helpful. Great guy.
You don't need to come with me.
Sure.
But thanks for telling me his name was Marto. Yeah, so I would go over and
Come on!
Are you Grunt or Marto? I think you met my friend Pohaku earlier.
It all depends on who's asking.
My name's Garnet, and I need to send a message home.
Where is home? And then we can discuss how to be sent. A friend of Pohaku's is a friend of mine.
Yeah, it's like all the way down by the Glimmer Shore, I think.
Oh, easily done.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
I just gotta tell my dad some stuff.
Something near along the coastline. A bird that won't be too terribly upset by the salty air. Oh, I've got an eaglet that could easily make the journey.
Sounds great.
Are we? Let's see here. Has he spoken to you of the enduring parchment?
He did. He said that it was amazing and it cost him like double.
It costs significantly more, but to toot my own horn, as the phrase goes, it's worth the cost. I would hate to have a letter traveling so far be damaged by weather, elements, etc. I can have it delivered to Glimmer Shore. Can have it done for 2 gold. He may have explained the Whispering Wood, while not as far as the bird flies, costs slightly more. The foliage there is quite the issue. So 2 gold, I will have it sent post haste.
That include the
Parchment? Of course, yes. No, if you were using standard parchment, I would send it along for merely 1 gold, and then it would simply be, if it arrives, but I cannot guarantee the condition. 2 gold, I guarantee the condition, enduring parchment.
sounds great. It's like buying insurance, right?
Precisely.
Yeah, smart.
I had a feeling Pohaku would have wise friends.
Yeah.
So much wonderful commerce today. I will get it sent out to. We're not long for midday, so the letters will be going out before too much longer, and arrival is guaranteed.
Love it. I will absolutely hand over the 2 gold.
Waiting time!
Yes, it is quite my pleasure. Thank you for doing business. Gesture you over to the side so you can write the letter.
Okay, what you want?
Go into conversation with the next individual behind you.
Sometime during the day at camp, Kira would try to pull Siobhan aside. Look, I want to apologize for getting you all mixed up in all this census nonsense.
Oh, you have nothing to apologize for. You warned me that they were coming down the same way.
I know, I just...
Sorry, there was just suddenly a pug and it made me laugh.
I know it's not your favorite people to be around.
Well, I've recently come to consider that perhaps my fears were unfounded.
I'm glad. I don't want to get you into something that's uncomfortable for you.
Oh, I'm uncomfortable every time I'm talking to another person. So
Okay, well, yeah, that tracks. Well, more uncomfortable then.
I'm more worried about you having to, you know, try to infiltrate the ranks and see if they're. I don't know. It seems like it seems a lot of espionage. And it's not really my style.
My dad always
Smoke.
taught me, as long as you're doing the right thing, you'll be fine. And that's what I plan to keep doing. And if there's corruption in our ranks, the right thing is to find it. That's all I can do.
If I may ask, how old were you when your dad passed?
13. It was 5 years ago, roughly.
It's not that long ago. It's right, Brutal.
Nah.
I think I assumed you're much younger, because mine passed when I was there. No, I worked off the tit. I was a brand new baby.
I don't know which one's worse.
I can't miss them because I never knew them.
But, I at least got a chance to know them.
Well, I'm hardly an orphan, so.
Well, I mean, I've still got my aunt. I actually think you'd get along with her pretty well. Assuming that you both don't immediately try to hit each other.
Fighting's not usually my first choice, or not really ever.
I mean, yeah, but if it's ever safe to get you to Nova, you'll see.
Frankly, it's Reba I'm more worried about. She hold on, this is out of character, out of this conversation. Holy shit, your hair is looking very White Snake right now. I'm super into it.
Fine.
Yeah.
Here I go again.
Get some volume happening. Yes. Remember when I had the best hair in the house? That was nice.
I'm just going to tell you, Bjorn, if I had a fan, I would be pointing it at you right now.
I'm sorry, my focus is exemplary. Jordan's like, I'm having a serious scene here. I'm like, sorry. Okay. So I can't remember here out of character how much we've talked about. Like Reba's made it clear that she has big problems with the Empire.
Mhm.
But I don't think she's given anybody any clue as to why.
No, she's really talked about that. She's super not into the whole religious oppression thing.
Sure.
But that's about as much as she's really talked about. Oh, that, and the fact that they employ mage hunters. She considers the practice really barbaric.
Okay. Oh, all right. Then I know what I'm going to say. Yeah, honestly, my big concern at this point is that Reba is going to be shooting her mouth off right, left, and center about how much she hates the freaking census, and it's going to be like what you've been dealing with Mannix this whole time, just not the time or place.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what to do about talking to Reba about any of this, but
she might possibly listen to me. I mean, it's not happened yet, but
so you're saying there's a chance.
I actually no, I'm scared, but I think it'll be all right. Yeah, thank you for your concern.
I just know it's a lot. and I don't take it lightly.
We'll talk. And this would have to not occur here, but I probably go over and begin the process of come to Jesus with Reba.
And we'll deal with that when we have
Yeah.
Casey present.
I wait for her to come back and be like, "Hey, so we agreed to sign you up to go into." I'm sorry, what?
She was instructed to look after you, so she just may have to, whether she wants to or not. That's how it goes sometimes. As you both come back to the camp from having this conversation, and Siobhan, you breaking off to speak to Reba, you, Kira, will see two more individuals you recognize. You heard were on their way here, the allies of Castian. You will see both this white scaled dragonborn wearing these sorcerer's robes, who's just very extravagant in all his gesturing as he speaks. And if it wasn't for the fact that Gandos is clearly not dragonborn, just the way that they move, you wonder if they were separated at birth. And the other is, you notice, these sort of like assassins' robes, but the hood is down, revealing this automaton's head as they are over just having a conversation with Castian. You can now see, sort of slightly off in a small clearing, there is this very well dressed, and you can tell that the style of the clothes very clearly imperial, this very short cropped haircut, and they're having a very impassioned discussion with Mannix. You can tell by this individual's gesturing. There's a lot of bowing that suggests like, I'm so sorry. It's just like they're very clearly trying to smooth things over, but that's far off in the distance.
He has got to be eating this up.
You know Mannix well enough that he probably is.
And I will go say hello to Erdrux and me.
And it is the Warforged. Kira. Has been some time since last conversation.
It has. I'm
How
surprised
have
I can see you.
As I am not working, it is not time to try and blend in. And after all, it is likely that such exercises would not be met with open arms, considering our current location. How have the years been treating you?
I've been working very hard to strengthen myself. Gotten into a lot more than I anticipated. With the last few weeks have been kind of a whirlwind. Lots of fights, lots of everything. I don't know if the official report has gotten out yet, but the Iron Tusk murders have been handled.
Interesting. I had not heard such news as of yet, though I do not hear all things that come through channels of discussion. You are still studying under Sordal, I believe.
Correct.
And how are the studies going? Do you find him to be a fair instructor?
Strict, but not for no reason. And I'm learning quite a lot. In fact, if I can show off for a moment.
Please, it would be my pleasure to see how you have progressed.
I just figured out how to handle this the other day, and I'll pull out my spell book and make sure to make a show of it looking like I am casting the spell from my spell book.
Okay, make a performance check.
Yep. And that's a natural 20 for a 24.
Love it.
And I'll pick an open spot that is clearly away from other people, because this has a range of like 150 feet,
Huh?
so I can get some distance, and I just cast Sleet Storm just
Nice.
out there.
And as you, most impressive, your skills are coming along quite well. In the distance, you hear, "Pay no attention to the snow falling from the sky. Gandos has not finished with his amazement."
Oh, you upstaged him.
And Erdrux, Kira, that is impressive. And the book, and he gives you a wink, knowing what you're up to.
Yep.
Nice touch. I'm impressed, but I don't know that I fully understand. To what purpose? You have always had gifts, dear boy. Why not embrace such things? And you just see all this arcane energy. It crackles across all his fingertips, and he throws it to the other hand, and then it crackles, and he just closes it up in his hand. Embrace you are.
And I'll lean in and say, very, very, very quietly,
Uh-huh.
everything is easier right now if people think I'm casting from this book.
I like how you do things. Very smart. Very smart. Sordol is teaching you well.
Well, he hasn't managed to teach me how to just make my hands fists to punch with them. That's not really my area of expertise.
Sordol's fisticuffs are their own beast. Let's face it, few have the unique combinations of skills of that one.
You are not wrong.
Has he told you that he has turned down offers to join our ranks numerous times?
He has. I'm partially to blame. He likes remaining as an instructor for one, but he specifically wants to make sure I'm ready.
Well, he turns out incredible pupils. If you're studying under Sordol, I have no doubt you are going to be exemplary. You fully step into the field. I look forward to that day.
It's always been the plan.
You still have your sights set on a certain opening?
I was actually thinking of shooting higher.
Do tell.
Well, in some of his last months, my father did talk to me about setting his sights on joining the Crown's Guard.
Interesting. That would be quite the endeavor, the oath one has to take to do such a thing. I'm impressed.
Well,
You're thinking of trying to join? Now, when you say the Crown, are you looking at just their overall ranks, or do you think you have what it takes to make the Obsidian Covenant itself?
don't know till I try.
You would be the first to raise from our ranks to theirs.
I'd also
It's
be
never
the
happened.
first not from a noble family.
This is also true. Could you imagine working alongside Calixtus Bright River himself?
That the battles that could be fought.
I'm just thinking of getting lost staring at his face.
You're not wrong.
I mean,
He's a gorgeous man.
second to none in the continent, they say.
And they say it true. They say it true. And
Well.
you can see Kira's visibly flustered.
Why is everybody trying to this gimmick infringement?
Karazura, I will tell you proudly if there is anything I can do at any point to be of assistance to you, never hesitate to ask. And I don't just say that because you're Tyree's son. Sordal is a good friend of mine as well, and he has given me some news of your studies. I've heard how diligent you are. Hard work. That pays off.
When I have the time and the need for a bit more specialized training, I will contact you.
Look forward to it. But just remember, you step out there. Give them a show! After all, we have a reputation to live up to.
Well, there's not much more show than I can do than this, and I'll mess with my dad's ring a bit and cast my mage armor.
That's good work. Now, I'm going to make sure Castian doesn't get himself in any more trouble with the locals, as he already has.
Well, once you
Apparently
hear what's
they're-
going on, I had a hand in figuring that out too. I've been doing a lot, and I take down the mage armor and just start to walk back to the group.
And as you're walking off, you will hear Meeg. A pleasure seeing you again, Kira. I look forward to our next conversation.
Always good to see you, me.
Likewise. They will go into conversation with Castian, and you kind of glance back, and at one point, you can hear just enough of some of the words being said. This is, you can tell Castian has just mentioned that you, Kira, brought up the piece of the robe that was worn by the Vaw Mage. And you kind of glance back, see if either of them are looking your way, because you're understandably proud of yourself. And me, his head it just fully turns 180 to look back at you. You know, like an owl. He actually had to reach back and just kind of pull his hood down a little bit, where like he bunched up behind the head, and then his head just wrote 180 back towards Castian.
Yeah, so the best of the best are here. Which
Yeah, you would know
might
this
be bad.
is this is 3 of the 4 surviving members of your dad's crew. The only one currently unaccounted for, a wizard by the name of Yiltrana Kaltolan.
Mm-hmm.
But her not being here doesn't disturb you. She's probably off, buried in a mountain of books, as she's known to do.
Yep.
And Hamir and his crew are chatting a bit, and they glance over to Castian's camp and back to you all. It's the more and more visitors coming in. Yeah. Do you think
Who is this talking to us?
it's Hamir?
Okay.
Do you think we should send Zedri over to say hi and see if they, like games of charades and shadow puppets and just whatever he can go talk about, just see how long they try and make pleasantries with him for? I mean, I bet you he'll do it for a meat pie.
Yes, please. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Zedri, you looking to earn a snack? Oh yeah, no, I was getting kind of hungry, and I was thinking, oh man, I could totally get myself something to eat. But if you got something for me, I absolutely, yeah. Okay, Zedri, Okay, so man, it's gonna work like this. Here's what I'm gonna need you to do. I will go and purchase you a meat pie just as soon as that merchant stall opens up. It'll probably be, he kind of glances up at the position of the sun. I'll probably be about an hour or so. So, what I need you to do, just so you know, I have time to get ready and make my way over there and get that and come back. I need you to stay occupied the entire time. So, what I want you to do is you see those three guys over there, he points to Castian's tent. I want you to go tell them that story about when we were fishing and you found that really cool rock, you know, the one that you named. Yeah, Gary, I know. So I've got him right here. Holds up this, it's a very shiny circular rock. Of course. Yeah. So Zedric, I need you to go just tell them all about, you know, just that day and how you found Gary, and then I'll get you a meat pie, and then you can come on back and have some lunch. Oh, sounds great. Hey, I'll catch y'all later. I got to. And he starts walking away. Oh, guys, let me tell you about Gary. And you just watch as these three high-ranking census members that are very clearly in this very just heated, impassioned discussion. Two of them look up with just this slow, the absolute hell. The third one, Warforge. Who is Gary? Oh, man, I'll tell you all about. Whoa, I never seen anybody. May I? Because Zedric, you can hear this. May you what? Can I like touch you? See what you're made of? And you can say, ding, 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 ding. It's cool. Oh, it's a metal man. I've never seen one before. You're cool. I like you, man. Dude, what's your name? Me. No, I'm me. What's your name? And this
is what I wanted.
This continues for quite some time.
I think Pohaku is going to, like, after hearing just the first couple of exchanges of this, is going to turn to the group. You know, I kind of want to hear about Gary. Do you guys need me for anything?
Well, going over there then. Don't miss out on the story.
Yeah. Okay. I'll catch up with you later.
All right.
Oh, this Lord of Snackage.
Yes, Siobhan has like tears running down her face. She's laughing so hard.
And so Pohaku, as you get there, so I'm me and you're me. We're both me. Champion Esquire, dude, it's awesome.
Lord of the Snacks.
That's me. So this is one of my new best bros, Pohaku. He is the Champion Esquire. He's so cool. This is me, not me. Name me. I'm me, Zedric. You know me, but that's also me. Yeah, I guess you're technically me too. If you're talking about yourself.
That's amazing. I'm also me.
Whoa, three me.
Three me.
If we went somewhere, it'd be the three amigos. Yeah, that worked. Cool. All right. So anyhow, we're like beachcombing and stuff because we got kind of hungry. We're looking for a good fishing spot, right? But I didn't know how I was gonna catch a fish. I didn't have no fishing pole. Whoa, I know difficult things. Also, I don't swim so good. I can kind of spearfish. That's not important. But anyhow, I was looking at the water because it was real clear. It was kind of reflected, and I could see my face. I'm cleaning some of the meat juice off there because I had a real juicy breakfast. It was awesome. And I looked down, and I see this rock looking back at me. And I reached down to get it, and I realized it wasn't looking at me. It was the reflection of my eye on the water, right? But I pulled the rock up anyways, and it was this one right here, and holds it up. And it was cool. And I felt like, whoa, this rock was meant to be with me because it was looking back, right? And I'm like, oh, if someone's going to travel with you, it's got to have a name, doesn't it? I can't just be like, yo, what's up, rock? So I realized it was my responsibility as a responsible parent to name said individual. So this is Gary. Everyone say hi to Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Yeah.
I'm up there.
and he looks over.
Laughing too hard.
Yeah. And, hello, Gary. Hi, Gary. Cassian. He leans close to Cassian. Say hi to Gary. Hi, Gary. Yes. Cool. All right. Now we're all friends. So, anyhow, he just keeps going on about this day where he found this amazing rock that he named Gary. The only other excitement in the story that really, brings Zedri true joy was the point where the fish were actually caught. It was actually, Hamir who brought them up, and him being a ranger, not terribly surprising. And about almost 2 hours later, when Zedri finally gets to this point, is when Hamir, Zedri, yo, have meat pie for you. Oh, well, okay, story's gonna have to end there, bros, because I got some food to be chowing down on, but great meeting y'all. Gary says y'all are a great audience, and yeah, great. And it's like you, me, love it. All right, check you later, me. It's off to go have his meat pie, and you can see Hamir is just
Don't encourage him. What's wrong with you?
grinning ear to ear at all of this.
This is why I play with him. I don't know what you're talking about.
And Hamir will lean over to you, Siobhan, saying, let this be known that this was the day that a incredibly high-ranking member of the census had to listen to Zedri talk about a fucking rock for almost 2 hours.
I won't lie to you. I've been afraid of them most of my life, and obviously they're tropes. Don't know what I was worried about.
Thing is, they're afraid of doing anything right here in this moment. We've got 2 of the best marshals, the assemblage here. We've got my crew here. We've got your crew here. They have no leg to stand on if they do anything. A violation of the Treaty of Virtue could bring the whole wrath of the Asharan Vale down on them. They can't risk that. So they have to have company manners. Well, Zedri talks about a fucking rock. This is one of my favorite days in a long time.
It's a beautiful thing you've done.
Yeah, thank you. I won't lie. Slightly proud. I'm glad folks were here to witness this.
Kohaku comes over as you're having this little huddled conversation. You have really got to ask Zedri about Gary sometime. It's a fascinating tale.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for the suggestion. I'm sure Hamir's heard it. Actually, we could hear most of it.
I heard it. Nothing. I was there
From here,
when
yeah.
we found it. Yeah. No, you heard the important parts, I think.
Right. Yeah. There was a rock, and they caught some fish.
Yeah, he thought it was his eye, but it wasn't his eye. I laughed. I cried. It was amazing.
No, I'm sorry. I hate to do this, but I am going to have to follow up. Is it an eyeball or is it a rock?
Oh, it's a rock. It's just a rock.
Well, but sometimes when you look into the water and, if you just put your face down into the water. Now, if you get your face too close to the water, you will drown. But if you are just looking at it, sometimes the light will reflect off of it, and then you're going to have it. And, when you pick up a rock and it's going
to the water for it to jump up into your throat to drown you like that. Is there a safe distance?
Kohaku is going to try to press your face, not hard, but is going to try to press your face into the ground. That close.
Oh, but just and then I think I know enough. Thanks, very much.
He tells it much better than I do. You really should spend some time. He's an amazing storyteller.
Oh, look at the sun! I've got to go.
For all of listening to Zedri talk about that rock many times since he found it, today I'm so glad he did. That was fun to watch. I won't lie. I did not know I could weaponize his storytelling so well. This is a good day.
It's
a good day.
Impressive.
He's a unique individual. That's Zedri. Gotta say, he's good to travel with, though, because when it gets tough, he's damn near unstoppable, and he'll do just about anything for a meal. So don't have to worry about him running off your gold. Care about money. Just likes to eat.
And what do you do to keep him focused on a task? If it's not food.
You promise him food after.
I,
Kind of all that really works.
I
You
thought,
think about it, that's really all that matters.
I thought perhaps you might, pull out cat toys or something to.
Here's the thing about traveling with a fellow like Zedri. As I'm sure you've noticed, he's loud. And sometimes we have to travel quietly. So the other three of us, we've gotten actually pretty good at some culinary endeavors where we make what I call edible chew toys, where it takes some time for him to chew through, but they distract him, and he says they're tasty, and it keeps him from making lots of noise when we need to travel quietly.
Could I get the recipe? Because I have a certain noble that these might work for.
Oh yeah, no, I've got a couple different recipes. Like, is there a certain type of flavor you're going for? Are we going for a meat thing? Is this more
It'll
vegetarian
definitely want to
thing?
be more of a meat thing.
Okay, I can do that. You want sweet, you want savory, you want spicy, you want just
Oh my
Savory,
God.
savory, and pretty mild on the spice is probably going to be the best for him.
so no, that's cool. Yeah, no, yeah, I've got a good recipe for mutton balls. Like you could,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
absolutely. I'll just, whenever I need him to shut up, I'll just shove those balls in his face.
perfect. You actually give me half a sec, and I'll make all this. And he uses the mage hand to get a parchment laid out. He starts writing on there. It takes a few moments. He hands it over to you. Yeah, the ingredients for it are fairly simple. You want to just make sure you've got enough tallow to act as a good binder
That
in
makes
there.
sense.
Yeah, get some good seasonings. It some people go for a little bit of honey for sweetness. I think it makes them too sticky and they're not as worthwhile to handle. But yeah, that'll work great, and no one's going to chew through them quickly. It will shut someone the hell up for close to a good hour. I can tell you this firsthand because I've given one to Zedri many a time.
This may be the most useful bit of information I've gotten on this entire journey.
The most important thing, I cannot stress this enough, the mutton has to be fresh, fatty, because you need that to be real chewy. Do not want the mutton too lean. I mean, if you're making a nice sandwich, that's fine for that.
And the milk tea, yeah.
Yeah, you got to have perky tomatoes for that too, though. But don't let the mutton be too lean for this. You just fresh and fatty, and mix with some good tallow. Oh, it's great.
So I as I'm listening to this, I kind of interrupt Kira as he's mentioning this. Well, shoot, Kira, if all you were trying to do was to keep somebody quiet, and I take some powder out of my component pouch and kind of blow it over at him, and I use one of my doses of silence powder on him.
That's amazing.
You might even say it's magnificent. Gandos is a powerful wizard.
Wait, that idiot told you this?
I mean, the results speak for themselves.
I'm completely baffled. I thought
They don't, the results can't speak for themselves.
Precisely.
I would have never guessed he had an actual practical trick that was worthwhile. I thought he was just good for amusing kids. And Zedri.
I mean, he's really good at that too.
I think he also deals drugs.
Really?
What?
Did you not catch that?
I may have to go have a business conversation with a magician because that's worth knowing. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm about that.
If it helps, you can tell him that you're in good with Champion Esquire. It
Yeah.
might help.
I will have it.
And I look over to Kara and I'm like, just move, just like a little further this way.
Right. I forgot that it's stationary.
Okay. So if I'm going to use that on Zedri, I got to get him to hold still. Good to know. Anyways, I'm going to go talk to a magician about herbal remedies. And Amir's going to head off in the direction of Gandos the Magnificent.
I mean, you can do that, I get. Right, I jumped into it again.
was the time limit on that thing 1 minute or 10 minutes?
1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute.
Yeah, then it passes, and that little area of silence is gone.
They only have 10 charges of that. Totally worth it.
After Javier walks away, you hear Siobhan just kind of go, and he cooks.
Should I roll an insight check?
I don't think she's being real subtle.
Fair. But also, Kira's not smart when it comes to these things.
Mm.
I want to see what Kira gets. Yeah, roll an insight check. I'm curious if this is going to be. What'd you get?
17.
Oh yeah, you absolutely. You're like, okay.
And Kira will just. Siobhan.
What? What? He's very, very, very cool is all.
Well, I mean,
I joined you on that insight check. I rolled a natural 19 for 18. And I think Pohaku is also going to be like just following your lead, but just cranking the.
I mean, if we decide to take this job, I mean, you could do the whole. I've seen a lot of people in the tavern do the whole.
You could do the whole. You could do
This is-
the whole, Siobhan.
No, not what I meant. Not what I meant.
Sorry about that.
You could play the gambit of I'm going on
I'm
a
not familiar
dangerous.
with the gambit.
No, yep. You could play the game of I'm going on a dangerous adventure and I don't know if I'll ever get to see you again.
Oh, last night in the world.
Oh,
yeah.
that stuff works all the time. Wait, does that work all the time? I've never tried that. That sounds like a terrible play, Kira. Does that really work?
I've seen it work, but also it's people at the tavern, so stuff just kind of happens.
You know, I think, really, really, go for it. Be yourself. And if you can't be yourself, be Owlbear.
That is good.
When it's that there's no there. I have to go wee, and she kind of bends off.
And Pohaku just turns to Kira. Ooh.
I know. Look at that. I can't believe we actually got Siobhan flustered.
Oh, it's not that hard.
I guess I've never tried. I've never felt safe to try to before.
Aw, she's like, I'd say that I wouldn't want to go against her in a fight, but I guess I've already done that and came out ahead.
Yeah, you
but
did. So
I wouldn't want to do it.
Now, bitch.
I wouldn't want to do it a whole bunch. But anyway, my point remains. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
And now, as it's closer to midday, Paco and Garnet, you would notice that the birds carrying your messages fly off from
Bye.
And there are a couple other birds that are sent out from there as well, but yours, the two that are headed due south.
I'll kind of turn to Puyo on my shoulder. Go have fun, and I'll let him fly along with them until he gets tired and decides to come back.
Fly off and go do such things.
So, out of character.
Yeah.
Why are we just hanging around here doing nothing?
Because Gandos wasn't leaving for two days.
yeah, we've got
Right.
another day at least.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot about that. Yeah,
If
is Gandos leaving in time for us to get to the train?
Oh yes. Like the fact that the census members haven't even begun to means you would definitely have time. And while there are many trains that run, it's not like there's one going all the way down to the capital city of the Thanamirian Empire daily.
Mhm.
So they would have to wait until whenever that train is running.
So we've got a day or 2 days at this point
Yeah,
remaining.
you would have one more day until Gandos is headed out, and then as far as when the train would be going out from there, probably have to find out from Marshall Bicker exactly what that timeline is.
Okay. With that, then, as soon as all of this wraps up, I think Pohaku is going to just go find Garnet and let her know, hey, since we're going to be here for a while, I'm just going to go head back into the cave for a while. I'll be fine.
With you.
Yeah, you're welcome to join me if you'd like. I just, it was kind of, I've never felt anything quite like it. And you're more than welcome to come with me, but I wanted to be there again.
It just doesn't seem like you should be alone.
Never quite alone, but I'll certainly enjoy having you there.
And I will psychic whispers with the other 3 of the 4 others for 7 hours in case anything comes up.
And there are some people actually willing to sort of tread into the mine a little bit to check on their stakes, maybe work it a little bit. It's only been a day since, only a rest since you all took care of the issues, but it's been largely reported that, okay, whatever the problem was has most likely been taken care of. Be careful, but go ahead and head on in. And some of the stalls for buying, selling, and trading some of the gems or ore that come out of the mine are being set up, and the smelting facility is some people are starting to man it. It's not in operation at this moment, but folks are readying things that should or start being produced or start being found, start being brought out, that they could work with it. But starting to bustle a little bit more even after just one night being spent. You kind of get the sense a lot of the folks who work these stalls or where a foundry where the smelting is being done there, we're probably staying nearby in their camps, and as well as some of the folks doing actual mining.
Since I was supposed to be coming here to check on things for the family, is there something like official I should be doing?
Yeah, you would go down and just check where your stake is within the mine, making sure that nobody's trying to mine it in your absence, and that it's just there. And so going to check it out, it's really fine. It's exactly as you last heard it was left, this not being your usual job to do. Give me an investigation check.
Uh, 30. 19.
Okay. So looking it over, you are definitely finding that, yeah, it is well maintained. Any sort of rumblings that may have shifted anything within the mine itself didn't affect yours at all. Go ahead and roll a d12 for me. 8. And sort of looking over everything within this part of the stake, you know that, again, Shimmerstone Mine, all sorts of things are found here based on what it produces. And your family's portion of it has produced gems, has produced silver, and has produced iron ore. And you kind of run your hand along the stony wall, and some loose stones just kind of shift and brush off. And there you see this gemstone. It's pure white shimmering back at you, this white onyx stone that you put your hand on and give it a little bit of a push, and comes free, and it sits there in your hand. So you have a white onyx worth 50 gold. And just kind of going, I mean, this is the family stake. I'm part of the family. But yeah, everything looks on the up and up. That if, someone was sent in here to work it a bit, you think they'd be able to pick up just as they left off. You can report back that, yeah, everything is ship shape, good to go.
Did Pahaku tell us that he was going to go do this?
I didn't, but I think Garnet connected in my note with all of you.
Okay. Because her doing that occurred to me. I was like, what are the marshals doing?
They're just mostly going about checking in with various folks, informing some of the merchants, hey, we think the issue has been taken care of. Please have your wits about you going in there. If you see anything that looks out of place at all, please let us know right away. And we hope that everything's back as it should be, but still have a certain level of care in just your overall way of being.
Sure. Well, when at some point between when they're talking to people, after when Pahaku leaves, this didn't occur to her beforehand, goes to them and is like, excuse me, Marshal, or Marshals.
Yeah, what can I do you for?
I don't know if you have this knowledge, but where the encounter we had yesterday, is that part of somebody's claim? That area?
Down there? Nah, ain't, as far as I know, ain't been fully claimed out. In fact, that chasm you talked about, wasn't hardly no one who wanted to try and go further past that just to go digging deeper, considering the various riches this here mine has been continually given forth. Continually, yes, that's a word. Continually given forth.
All right.
And as been talking to Marshal Holloway, far as we see it, we think that beyond the passageway leading down there to said reservoir, that is officially off limits for anyone to try and put forth any sort of actual claim or stake to, as that don't seem like the kind of thing to me that anybody needs to be the sole owner of. That is something we don't fully understand, and we'd rather not see some sole proprietor using and or abusing such thing, unless we knew that hands it was in could be completely trusted. Why you ask? Why, you want to buy it?
No, I wouldn't know the first thing to do with it. It seems to me that if anyone was considered to own that particular land or claim and tried to We're trying to say that they then owned the anomaly therein, that could be a very dangerous thing for them.
That was part of our reckoning as well. So until we have a better understanding of what we wish to do with said discovery, it is currently under complete joint ownership of the entire Vagabond assemblage until such time as the mayors and marshals at large decides there needs to be any sort of renegotiation and rearrangement of possession. But as it stands now, everybody has an equal level of possession in that, meaning, should one wish to sell or utilize said discovery, why there would have to be a majority rule on what to be done with it. And considering that encompasses the entire populace of one Vagabond assemblage, the amount of time that would take to get said agreement in writing, witnessed by 2 dignitaries, I feel like that buys us plenty of time to figure out what exactly to do with it. And may or may not have a reverend or 2 on the way here to set up maybe a ward or 2 to keep any nerdy wells out.
All right, good. I just didn't want anybody to be in danger.
It's mighty considerate of you. Now, we'll do everything we can to make sure that is the case, that no one is dealing with any sort of issue. And should we need to hire a bouncer or 2 to keep folks out, we have a pretty good list of folks who we consider trustworthy who could do such a thing.
All right, it's sorry to bother you. It's not.
No bother at all.
No, it's just silly of me to not realize you or be on top of it.
No, sounds to me like you're looking out for the assemblage and the population thereof. Appreciate that.
Get back to whatever the hell, playing Yahtzee or whatever we're doing.
You see,
And-
Kira is has a big parchment out, and he is currently drawing dice.
Nice. And say, for Kira, have you attempted to write any more correspondence to Sordo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you tried to write about a certain individual?
Yes. I would
Give me a
certainly like to.
Wisdom saving throw with disadvantage.
Yep. All right, dice. You did good for me on a wisdom saving throw before. Let's do this. Okay. Not awful. Let's see. Oh, it's only a +1. 14? Ah, all right. Well, I just tell Sordal about everything else.
And are you go over to Grump to get that letter sent?
Yep.
You want?
Just like a letter sent.
How you want it sent? Do you need a courier? You need a bird to send it? What are we doing?
Well, I would trust your expertise, this being your shop.
Yes.
What would be the fastest, in your opinion, way to get a message to Nova?
That's just as traveling by Condor.
All right. I would like this to get to Sordal in Nova as quickly as possible.
Can do. 1 gold, done and done.
2 gold. Just because I like you.
2 gold, my friend. And
What? What?
you're taking care in the way that your letter is sent. I recommend using the enduring parchment. It will survive wear and tear and the elements far better than something standard. Go ahead, write out your letter. I'll have
Oh
it to
no,
the...
I've already got it written out, and if it's destroyed, it's destroyed.
What's done is done. Yes, I will send it out right away, and your business is appreciated.
Because I know Sordal has magic that can repair it
Yeah,
pretty easily.
And this condor will be sent out in the direction of Aurora Nova.
Condor's known for being fast.
This one is.
Okay, I didn't know. I
I don't know, man.
was just curious. Like, oh,
It's my best guess, but that information's for the birds.
Boo.
oh,
Yeah, that happened. That happened.
You
I
know,
won't apologize for it.
while I'm thinking about sending a letter, I actually just thought of a second one. This one does not need to be any kind of express, but it probably should be on that that parchment,
Of course.
that enduring parchment. And I'll just
Pleasure.
send a quick letter to Halia, just letting her know what's going on, that I'm doing
Cool.
well, leaving
Cool.
out any possible detail that sounds like I'm in danger.
Love it. So you get that one sent out as well. And when you mentioned you have the second one to send out, since it's also going to the same city,
Mm.
it's going to be sort of one on each angle of the same bird.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
No additional charge, no trouble at all. No
Thank
trouble
you.
at all. My honest pleasure. Should you or any of your compatriots need anything sent, please come to me and I will make sure that it. Keep a distance. Stay apart. Wait your turn. Wait your turn. Yes. Be sure to make sure you are well taken care of.
Absolutely. Thank you.
To you.
Thank you.
Hey, what do you want?
And I just walk out of the shop confused.
I suspect this dude's schizophrenic.
And as you all just find a chance to have some well-earned downtime, information, get it. You said, Siobhan?
Sorry, it's like something else I've been wanting
Yeah,
to do.
of course.
This would be no on this. Anyway, when I'm gonna go off on my own, see if I can find some place a bit private,
Easily.
and I'm gonna take out my journal.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to turn to the page where there was the different handwriting that I had ascertained was not me writing in my sleep. And I'm going to write underneath are you trying to talk to me?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of probably just gonna sit there and watch it for a while because I don't know what's gonna happen or if anything's gonna happen.
You try and psychically focus on this. Is the closest thing. Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, I am shite at Arcana. Oh, I did roll a 17 though.
17. You sit there focusing, just trying to pierce into the veil of whatever is beyond, and you
Veil of whatever.
close your eyes because you remember being told about the plane of dreams, and so you just try and open your consciousness to anything out there, and you find yourself daydreaming, and your consciousness is everywhere and scattered, and you see craggy mountains, you see streams and rivers and trees, and there's a lot of geography you don't recognize. It's all just going by so fast, and none of it's sitting with you, and you feel like you've been in almost in a trance for hours. So much going by so fast. You've opened your eyes and looking about, just seeing where people are positioned. You realize can't have been sitting there more than a couple minutes. You with that 17 and going beyond with your consciousness, you look down at the page where you had written your question. Just underneath the messiest handwriting, it says yes.
Right. So anyway, all right, R.E. McQuarrie, and that may sound like a last name. Me,
Seamus McQuarrie.
Claudia, and then leave a bunch of space because I don't write space, and also what can I do to help?
And you take some time to sit there, focus, waiting, and you don't feel action in this moment.
I'm saying they're doing like yoga breathing. Yeah.
You eventually close the book and saunter back, both hopeful, discouraged. Hopeful because there was one answer, and discouraged because you weren't able to get more. But the fact that this extension was given to you, you ever thought that maybe in time to come there will be more? And you all sit around the camp, stealing occasional glances at the census trio, making sure they're staying in eyesight, watching the marshals just stink eye them every time they walk by, while also checking in with various camps, letting them know all is well, listening to Zedri talk about the time his boots were weird, and then he realized he put the wrong ones on the wrong feet, and that's all that was, and they weren't trying to eat his legs, despite what he was sure of. And Mannix eventually returning to you all, looking very pleased at this new ring he is wearing that has this amazing insignia emblazoned upon it. You find your way into the evening and nod off for the next day to come, where Gandos will begin his trek back to Ruby's Crossing. And that'll be a great place to pick up next time, as you all have sent some letters and heard some stories. But that's for another time, and we'll see what chaos awaits.